In this week's edition, we are talking about tech hubs in Africa and how they've become a backbone of Africa's technology ecosystem. Hello, I'm Paul Ndiho. Bi-weekly, we strive to bring you stories that inspire, empower, engage, and motivate emerging African entrepreneurs using innovative brilliance as well as technology into action. The innovative potential of the next generation of Africans is enormous. Young people are making their mark in the technology world and are turning their countries into the next Silicon Valley. More than 150 startups are launched out of iHub. The tech hub is credited with inspiring the upsurge in creative spaces across the continent. African innovation is not receiving the level of global recognition and support it truly deserves. The continent is brimming with a rising new generation of bold, creative thinking innovators and entrepreneurs who are inventing and developing new technologies that are simplifying lifestyles and transforming societies. If you are an aspiring entrepreneur, young innovator, and want to start a small business, perhaps Nairobi is the place to go. Some businesses have started really small but have grown into multi-million-dollar businesses right here. 5 years ago, there was nowhere for developers to come together and grow. Today, iHub is setting the pace for Africa's tech revolution and putting Kenya on the global innovations map. It's early afternoon at the Community Business Networking Center. These techies are doing their thing, hitting cyberspace, typing away on laptops, iPads, and smartphones.
The main objective was to create a space for the local tech community to find a home. And over time, our main goal has been to catalyze the growth of the Kenyan tech community. And we've been doing that in a variety of ways through various initiatives. And we've seen over the years a very fast-growing and evolving startup scene in Nairobi. But what we try and do as well is help people who are trying to set up similar spaces for their communities outside Nairobi to do that, because like in Kisumu, there's Lake Hub, and they're trying to set up. They've set up a space actually that's doing something similar there for people in the tech community.
Innovation centers in Kenya like iHub are helping to incubate and train developers to launch their startups and access markets. There are a lot of tech hubs in Kenya here, especially here in Nairobi. But iHub stands out of all these places. What makes you guys unique?
We sort of have a free, a hands-off model on the people that get here. So we put them in one room and we let them really just flourish. So that means our vetting process also gives us some of the best candidates from all over. And then that, once we put them together, we trust that they're going to do something great. And a lot of the time, that's what's happened.
Already, more than 125 companies have grown out of iHub. Many are dedicated to applying technology to Africa's specific problems. On a typical day, about 250 members stop by, allowing a couple of engineers to team up, exchange ideas, and sometimes make business deals. Above all, it has helped dispel the notion that Africa's tech community is somehow lacking in ideas, talent, or ambition.
There are good developers, and so that ready availability of good developers helps you to set up an internet business or a web-based business or a mobile-based business relatively easier than you might be able to in other countries in Africa.
iHub hosts a wide range of events and workshops, including a Google Business Group and Google Developer Communities. iHub already provides working space for burgeoning new companies. They also support other tech hubs by providing them with technical training, mentoring, and business tools so that they can serve their growing startup ecosystems. Still in Kenya, over the last 5 years, Africa has seen its innovation spaces grow from a handful to hundreds. NILAB, a Nairobi-based business incubator, is helping to turn business ideas into viable startups. Nairobi is now considered as the Silicon Valley of Africa. People from all over the continent come here to nurture their dreams, nurture their ambitions, start their businesses, or learn how to create businesses. NILAB is a highly creative space where young entrepreneurs meet, develop, and share ideas. It's a business incubator and support center that provides innovators with the infrastructure for business growth, and where budding entrepreneurs can see their concepts take off. Sam Gichuru is the CEO, NILAB.
NILAB is a space for young innovators to come and try to see whether their ideas can become businesses. And so we play the facilitation role of trying to work with young people who are thinking in a certain way, and how can we move them from one point to the next point, and mainly focus on entrepreneurship that is heavily ICT.
NILAB was launched in 2011 with an ambitious goal of changing Kenya, one startup at a time, through an entrepreneurship program that spans 3 to 6 months.
We've helped over 40 companies. Most of those are still in business. A few have done a few successful things here and there. Have created a lot of jobs, are serving customers in the hundreds of thousands, have been able to raise money in the, almost in the millions of dollars cumulatively, and a single exit at slightly above $1 million.
Gichuru says helping emerging entrepreneurs is something that he does because he believes it will spur development.
My mind has always been, how do we change Africa? How do we change? And if you can change Nairobi, you can change Lagos, you can change Cape Town, you can change Kampala or Dar es Salaam, you can actually have impact. But how do we do it differently? How do we not follow the old traditional aid method, but how do we use aid money to create real impact? And how do we also use venture capital and angel investment money to scale scalable businesses?
Other startups are taking advantage of the office space include Kuhaso, a platform that allows skilled freelancers to find digital jobs across Africa. Billy Odero is Kuhaso's Chief Technology Officer.
I've been working on the industry for quite a while, and one thing that you realize is that a lot of people are always coming to you and asking you, do you know someone who can do this? Do you know someone who can do this? And that's just a standard across. And one thing we realize is that there's a lot of demand for people who can do certain jobs, but people don't really know where to find them. So we figured, why not come up with a platform that can connect the two.
Apps are the rage for a growing number of mobile devices, and young people are taking advantage of this revolution. Bevere Mbeki is the Chief of Operations at Kuhaso.
Automatically to posting a job, I'll choose the category that we are a new company. Job, there is a micro budget, which is in Kenyan shillings. I'll have an option to mark the job as complete, after which they will review and give feedback about the experience working with the developer.
Analysts say Kenya's IT industry has been on a major upswing in the past few years, driven largely by advances in mobile phone technology. And Kenyan officials are keen to capitalize on that technology too. 2015 was a year brimming with insightful innovations. It will be exciting to see what NILAB has to offer this year, and how high will Kenya's technology revolutions eventually reach. Centers like iHub and NILAB have been widely successful and hope to become self-funded sometime in the near future. We will take a short break, but before we go, we want to know what you think about the Africa Innovation and Technology channel and the stories we cover. Follow us or watch us live on Facebook and Twitter. The address is Africa Innovations and Technology. You can also check us out on our YouTube channel. Welcome back to the Africa Innovation and Technology Channel, a show where we strive to bring you stories that inspire, empower, engage, and motivate young emerging African entrepreneurs using innovative brilliancy as well as technology into action. The number of technology hubs across Africa has more than doubled as more investors and innovators grow their local startups ecosystems. In Uganda, the success of internet connectivity is exciting the nation's young people and creating tech hubs like Outbox, a highly creative space focused on innovation. Uganda's population is estimated to be more than 41 million people. According to Uganda's Population and Census Bureau, initiatives like Outbox are changing that narrative by challenging young entrepreneurs interested in using technology to think outside of the box. Richard Zulu is the lead developer for Outbox.
We work with upcoming African entrepreneurs and we give them a shared office space, we give them mentorship and we give them training. And then we leverage partnerships to raise funding for them, to further help them expand to new markets or access very specialized services that they do need.
Outbox has had some outstanding success stories.
Currently we're working with up to 7 startups that we're currently supporting in different verticals. And then we have up to 5 more that are affiliated with us.
Zulu says helping emerging entrepreneurs is something that he does because he believes that it will spur development.
My vision is to have an Outbox that's composed of different communities beyond such a space that any innovator can tap into and actually borrow from the expertise of these communities in order to start their own businesses and everything like that.
Other startups are taking advantage of a space include Cola Studios, creators of the popular 2-play card game dubbed Matatu. Sharon Rakatungu explains.
So you keep playing your cards and the opponent also plays. The machine plays with you here until one of you finishes the cards first. There's many rules to it. You can play certain cards at certain times. You can cut the game. And we have over 100,000. It's about, the last I checked was about 130 something. We get an increase every month. We get about 4,000 or more. We get some peaks. There's some months when we push for advertising. Of course, we get more than 4,000 a month. But with no advertising, no anything, we get 4,000 a month.
Apps are the rage for a growing number of mobile devices, and young people are taking advantage of this revolution. Brian Lamuto is behind the NTV mobile app called NTV Go.
We developed for them a mobile application. It's for news. Users can read news. They can also report news. Our main aim is to promote citizen journalism and vigilance in our communities. The major feature of this mobile application is actually the N-Report feature that allows you to first of all sign in, and once you sign in, your name will appear here, and then you can capture a story, okay, maybe record an audio, take a video, and then you can enter the headline of your story, okay, select maybe a category of what you want to report in, probably any of these categories, or if you have another category, you can specify that category, and then attach maybe pictures, photos, and all that, and then you can actually send this story to the media.
Tech analysts say Uganda's apps industry has been on a major upswing in the past few years, driven primarily by advances in mobile technology, and Ugandan government officials are keen to capitalize on that technology too. Still in Uganda, in the heart of Kampala is Innovation Village, a community-run center that offers co-working space. It's a place where tech entrepreneurs, web and mobile app developers, designers, and investors meet to nurture their ideas and get them off the ground. More than 40,000 young people graduate from Ugandan universities each year. The market can only provide 8,000 jobs annually. But initiatives like Innovation Village in Kampala are trying to change that narrative. Jeffes Kawanguzi co-founded the startup nearly 4 years ago. He says Innovation Village is a place where developers come together to learn and to grow their businesses.
What I do is, with the Innovation Village, to put in place a framework that can leverage the dividend out of this young population and bring out that creativity to commercialize it.
It's a normal day here at Innovation Village, and the techies are doing their thing, hitting the internet, typing away on laptops and smartphones, creating new technologies and applications that are driving the country's economic growth and turning Uganda into a tech hub.
Looking at the big challenge of unemployment, the big challenge of a young population, we tilted it around and say what opportunity is here working with these young, creative, innovative minds, and how can we converge them to build a new destiny, different from the normal unemployment and poverty, that the story that everyone is used to. So my own story led to the question of what possibilities can come out of this.
Innovation centers in Uganda, like Innovation Village, are helping to nurture technopreneurs to launch their startups and access markets.
Our vision is to bring ideas to life, and we do this by investing skill and attracting capital for viable ventures. We're setting out on a long mission to build 100 youth ventures in the next decade. And how we're doing that is through three main pillars. That's the Innovation Academy, where we build skills, capacity, the entrepreneurial attitude, grit among young innovators. We create an environment where they can get the skills.
Jeffes Kawanguzi says helping emerging entrepreneurs is something that he does because he believes it will spur development. What drives these young people?
It's probably you realize that after school, I don't have a job and I have to start living a life. And the question is, what options do I have? So unemployment, the difficult circumstances, put you in a situation where it becomes survival for the fittest. And since you can't find a job, you must come up with an alternative of how you survive. So the direct alternative in this case has been entrepreneurship, has been innovation, and seeing many of them who have been rewarded, I think motivates others to also come up with their own ideas.
Tech analysts say it's possible to see IPO startups grow in Africa. You'll start seeing tech companies coming out of Africa with huge revenues, enough to support a public launch on a local exchange, or even trade on NASDAQ. Meanwhile, large US tech companies like Facebook, Google, and Microsoft are also betting big in Africa, as the continent positions itself as a market ripe for investment. For example, Bongo Hive, a Zambian innovation hub founded in 2011, almost entirely by grants, has been transitioning to making money and investments. This year, there are many stories about young people creating new technologies and applications that are driving the continent's growth and turning around its global image. The Lusaka-based tech hub started 3 years ago, and it provides a space where young creative minds hone their skills. Bongo Hive founder and executive director Lukonga Lindunda says brilliant minds have never been in short supply in Zambia.
We allow young people to innovate, so they come in, provide them with access to internet, to skills development as well, and also an opportunity as they're building the idea that they have access to mentors, funders, and really a network that allows them to bring their idea to life.
Bongo Hive is behind the app that is generating a lot of buzz in Lusaka. The draft constitutional mobile application launched recently has been downloaded more than 6,000 times.
Draft constitution was only available on the website as a PDF document. And so he managed to convert that PDF document into a searchable application, which you could actually search for specific keywords, but not only that, but be able to also submit your comments straight to the technical committee that was drafting the constitution.
I use Android and I'm getting...
working on the app.
This is a Zambian constitution application. So as you can see, there is a preamble there. So it basically explains exactly what's in the constitution.
With a good idea, an entrepreneurial spirit, and an interest in all things tech, young people from across Africa are learning that their skills are extremely valuable. Jacqueline Hannah Kwenda is a video editor at Bongo Hive.
Where they were training girls how to use video editing software and cameras. So we came here, I came for that workshop. And then later on, I got interested in furthering my skills on how to film and edit video.
There are similar tech hubs in Africa like Bongo Hive, in Kenya, Nigeria, Uganda, and Ghana. And all are trying to harness the potential of the world's fastest growing mobile phone market. George Lupupa Mutale is in charge of outreach at Bongo Hive. He says their goal is to empower local communities by giving them an opportunity to tell their stories.
Take those stories out and let the whole world see that Africa is doing something innovative, and specifically like Bongo Hive, or maybe in different parts of countries where they're creating hubs, that's where the gold mine is, and yeah, see how the stories can be created out of it.
Joshua Chipili is a self-taught robotics engineer.
We're all self-taught, would I say maybe engineers, tech engineers and all that, yeah. That teach ourselves, then come together, then come up with certain ideas that would maybe help in the future.
Bongo Hive also offers a free office space to Cassandra Martin, CEO and co-founder of Zambia's trending website where clients shop for groceries and other household products.
We're currently delivering in 2 provinces in Zambia. And the way it works is through our site, clients can buy groceries and household goods, and then we deliver directly to their families or favorite charities.
Perhaps I might add that the growth in mobile phone technology and the decline in bandwidth costs are also boosting the digital revolution across Africa. Well, on that note, do you think you have a better idea, or you have created something that everyone is talking about and you'd like to be featured on this show? Please send us your video clips and tell us which country you're from and how your innovation is impacting your community. Thanks for watching. Until next time, so long from Washington.